morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Vodacom Education Ecosystem Workshop. My name is Nomanda Ngola, and I'm your host for today's program. I hope everyone is feeling good, feeling fresh, feeling revived, especially after yesterday's session. I think we learned so much from the different speakers. We had time to really reflect on the amazing milestones and the work that has been done by the Vodacom Foundation. So really, welcome back, everyone. And I specifically hope that we're more comfortable with navigating the platform, because I am aware that yesterday we had a little bit of sort of, some people were able to participate, some people were not, because you weren't really sure where to go. So to make sure that everybody participates and everyone is familiar and comfortable with the platform, I do just want to reflect for you on the screen whenever we play a game or whenever we ask for interaction, what you can anticipate. So if you care to look onto the screen right now, weird seeing myself on the screen. But if you look on the screen here, you'll see that there's my face. All right, that's obviously the main screen. And then to my right, which is probably your left, that's where you need to specifically populate the answers for the spot quiz question. Yeah, so much like I did yesterday, I'm going to ask a spot question, and you need to just make sure that on the chat side, you click in there and you type in what the answer is. Okay, that's specifically for the spot quiz question if there's any questions asked. Then if there's a game to be played in particular, just scroll down, okay, where you can see there, you see that at the bottom, Education Ecosystem Workshop, word search, or whatever the game is at the point in time, you hit the play now button, and basically that's when you'll be able to play the game that we will be playing at that particular point in time. Okay. I know a lot of people were able to dial in. I think we had like 117 who played the game, but we also lost a fair amount of people who weren't really sure. So that was really important for us to get out the way. Okay. But much like yesterday's program and outline, we will be playing some games to make it a little bit fun, a little bit interactive, and to also give the opportunity to get some spot prizes. We have a shorter program today, as you will have seen in the agenda. We have Johanna, who's going to be doing a welcome for us. We have sort of the last part of the spacemed training, and then we'll be closing off the program for the day. So without any further ado, I would like to call onto the stage Dr. Johanna, if she can. There we go. Just to walk us through into the welcoming. Okay, in actual fact, sorry guys, we were supposed to do the word cloud. The word cloud. So much like what I showed you, the word cloud to the right is asking a question specifically of how are you feeling? It's a beautiful question to ask, and it's a beautiful way to start the day. How are you feeling? What feelings are you feeling from today? Hungry, says someone. Smarter, says someone else. Grateful. I love that. Starting a day with gratitude. I love it. Interested. That's good. An open mind. Yeah, curiosity. We like that, right? Because it makes you more receptive. Hopeful. I like that too. Hopeful that you're going to learn more and understand more. I especially saw that interest peak also during Morris's training. So that's nice. That's really good to see. What else are you guys feeling? The hungry guys should eat probably. Now's the time to grab yourself some cornflakes or wheat bix or porridge or whatever's going to get you going for the day. All right, is that all, guys? I just see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, let's keep them typing. Hey, I don't know. I'm feeling good, actually. I think I'm feeling good. You know, I did my workout this morning, and I ate right, so I'm actually happy about that. So I'm feeling kind of good. You know, when you start the day well with the things you're meant to do, it's a good trajectory. Oh, wow, look at that. Amused. I see fantastic, nice, optimistic, open-minded, excited, enlightened. Oh my word, you guys. Yes, yes. These are very good mantras, right? To say to yourself in the morning. Grateful, rearing to go, wiser. Wow, you guys are such a positive group of people. Laka, says someone else with exclamation marks. I love it. What are you amused by? I'm curious about why the other person is amused today. I'd love to know what is making you laugh this morning. That's fantastic. Rearing to go, like a hopeful, optimistic, fantastic, excited, smarter, alive, enthusiastic. Basically all round positive and excited to learn more, excited to be part of the program and hear from our speakers, and learn from some of the technologies. I like that. I like that. A curious and an open mind. Thank you so much, guys. I love the participation as well, right? It's always good, especially when we're virtual, to bridge that gap by actually engaging. Happy and excited, said someone else. Blessed, said someone else. Ecstatic, said someone else. Alive was another one. Nice. And happy, said someone else. Okay. 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 All right. Well, thank you for that, guys. And thank you for indulging us with this game. Internet is failing me. Look, it's okay. Don't feel too bad. You may have sort of technical glitches here and there. We may have as well technical glitches here and there, but it happens. These are the shortcomings of technology sometimes, but the show goes on and we do so steadily and gracefully so. All right. So without any further ado, let's do it again. I would like to call on I don't want to put pressure on her. So let me just say, Johanna, please come onto the stage. We are ready to introduce you.
All right.
I think your camera's off.
Yes. I'm just gonna greet everybody no Monday this morning, and appreciate you for running the program yesterday quite so well, and thank everybody for being part of the workshop yesterday and also coming on this morning. We are hoping that we are learning together and we're getting to know each other as the foundation for much better. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day, enjoy the activities, and then if you need anything, we are available for you. Thank you. I'm already receiving emails from people communicating where they are at and also their challenges. Just know that we will attend to all of them. Thank you. Thank you so much. Enjoy the day.
All right. All right. No problem. All right. Before then we carry on, just a few more announcements, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that the game we played yesterday of taking your photos, right? Don't forget that you can go back into the lobby and take the photos and obviously submit those pictures as part of the submissions for the prize that I will be announcing at the end of the day. Okay. Keep the pictures coming and keep the participation going. Thank you, Johanna, for that warm welcome. I think we can then proceed to the training by Marius. Marius, if you can come onto the stage, please, so we can begin with the training on your end. Over to you.
Hi, thank you very much. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, today what we're going to do is we are going to run it a little bit differently. It's always one of those things where as soon as you know all the answers, they change the questions. But in this case, I was the stupid one in changing the questions. So what we're going to try and do today is to actually run a live demos from the laptop, and not just doing a presentation, but it just makes it a little bit better and easier to actually be able to do that. So I am going to share my screen, and we are going to run on a normal computer screen. So I'm going to load and unload programs and things and show you some examples. So I am just going to do that quickly, and then we can get going. Right. So I hope you can now see my screen, and let's take a little bit of a step back to the RTMP that we worked with yesterday. As you remember, at the end, we went through RTMP. We got to just about everything, and there was a few slides that we didn't get to. One of the things is, again, you're welcome to ask for those the presentation and the documentation of yesterday, as well as if there's anything that I'm doing today that you would like to have, you can just send me an email on marius@spacemed, one word, .co.za, marius@spacemed.co.za. Right, what we're going to do is let's take our RTMP, and we've spoken yesterday about the icon. There's our icon. We've clicked on the icon, and now you will see that there's our icon. And we will see the icon here at the bottom of the screen, bottom right of the screen. There's that little tower. And if we right click on that, you'll see that it went in straight. And as I said, if you run it for the first time, it will automatically go into settings. But let's just go into settings here and check it. Now, one of the things that we're going to do today is we're going to run two cameras. My normal camera that's inside my computer is obviously now dedicated to the broadcast that we're doing now. So in order for me to show you both things, I had to include another camera, which is quite nice because this facility allows you to actually add as many cameras and things as you would like. And so everything else is the same. And if I look at my camera that I'm going to use here today, I'm going to use the HP camera. I've got also my integrated camera, as I said, is being used. So we choose that. We also choose the sound of that camera, and the rest stays the same. I can just save it. And now if I want to do something, I can show the camera, and you should be able to see that camera as well. This one we can move around on the screen, put it wherever we want to. And also, if I click on it, it becomes bigger. If I click on it, it becomes even bigger. But yeah, for an ugly person like me, let's make it small. We can even hide it if we need to. Right. Now, we've done all the other things yesterday, and you'll see the only thing now, there is a swap camera option available now for me. Because I've got multiple cameras, I can switch over to another camera as well. But in this case, I've got the two cameras here, so I'm not going to switch over because it may then lose me on the main feed. But the one thing that we can do, first of all, is the recording part. And as I spoke yesterday, it is a very important part that we can do. Maybe just before we get to that, I'm contradicting myself. Let's just look at that show notation that we had yesterday, which is a real nice function. It's a button that opens up here, and here you can write anywhere on your screen. It doesn't have to be in a whiteboard. It doesn't have to be anywhere. If you've got Word open, you can write on top of Word. If I've got the main screen open here, I can write in different colors. I'm just choosing a few things here. There's my black. I can increase the thickness of the lines, and I can have a highlighter going, anything of that sort. And if I, as I said, if I make a mistake, I can go one back and delete that. I can also hide everything and bring it back later. I can move it around on the screen. I can also then erase things as I want to. I just flick over it, and it erases it. So I can do that. Then, obviously, the one nice part about it is, let me just erase that one. The nice thing about it too is I can take a snapshot. When I go to the snapshot, this is initially nothing selected, but I can now go and I can, for instance, select part of my screen. Let's just take that part and choose that. And there it is. It's cut it, it's pasted. It is now a normal JPEG picture. It's a normal JPEG picture. And let us just get rid of it for the moment, and we'll have a look at it now. And then the other thing is I can obviously get rid of the whole lot. I don't have to close the whole thing. I can just put it here to the side, and it stays available for me when I need it again. And then one of the things is I spoke about the picture. And if I go here, there is the picture already saved. It saves it automatically. And now this is a normal JPEG picture, and I can use it anywhere for anything as a normal picture is. So that is how easy it is to do things. And you know, when you're looking to get pictures off, it's simple and easy to load it onto your screen. You crop it, you cut it, you put it in your PowerPoint presentation or whatever you want to do. It just makes life a lot easier. And I'm going to show you a little bit more that we can do later that is that you're also going to like. Right. So let us now go and say we want to do a recording. When we do a recording, we can say record, and now you can do anything you want to do. I can go in to, for instance, I can open a new file. This is, for instance, the manual. I can, as I wanted to do, I can now write on it. All right, let's go back with it. And so whatever I do now, I can do. And on the picture, I can just right click on it and say stop. Right. And that is that. Now, let's say, for instance, I now go and I say, I'm going to my videos. Let me just see if it is in the videos. Anything you want to do. I can go in to, for instance, I can open a new file. This is, for instance, the manual. I can, as I wanted to do, I can now write on it. All right, let's go back with it. And as you can see, you have got an instant recording of your work. So that really makes life a lot easier too, that now you can sit, you can go on at the luxury of your own study at home. You can prepare a lesson, you can prepare notes, you can prepare a meeting, do whatever you need to do, record the part that you want to record, keep it, and then later on you can use it for something else again. And this is very, very important that we have that capability now, which makes life a lot easier. Then the next step that we can do is we can do a live stream. Now, with just the stuff that you've got your computer, you've got the big screen in the center, nothing to worry about. If you want to stream, what you're going to do on there is simple and easy, and you will say stream, and it will stream. And here we go, and now we're ready, we're streaming, we do whatever we need to do, and it is done. So nothing more to worry about. If we do, for instance, go and close this, and I go back and I say stop, stop. Now it is stored. And if I do open, there is the link. That is the link that you will get for people to link into your live stream, and they can then stream, or they can then see the stream. And if we do that, let's say we stream again. Remember, you set your stream in the beginning. So if I now go and I say I want to go to, say, VLC, and VLC is a free video player and things like that. It's across all platforms. Everybody is using it to watch videos and things like that. So it does make life a lot easier. And there's the stream on my cell phone. So whatever I do there is happening. It is a little bit small at the moment, obviously, but there is a perfect stream. So for whatever happens, you can see it on your cell phone, on your tablet, on your big screen, anywhere, anything. That is how simple it is to do that. And that is what we pride ourselves by, is to make things a lot easier. Not all teachers are IT specialists. And we try and make it simple, try and make it easy so that people can relate to this and use it. And I think that is the bottom line in order to use it. Right. So, and then the last option that I want to show you, one thing is, if I hide the camera, there's the camera, I can right click on the camera and it gives me all the options. If I hide the camera and the camera is not available, I just go to this little icon in the icon tray, the tray icon, and I look at it here. The next step is inject. Difficult thing to name it. What is inject? Basically what it is if you've got a recording already, you've now done your recording. Now tomorrow you would like to actually do that recording and play that recording back to a live audience, right? So instead of go to stream and then do a live stream, we now take that recording that we've done and we inject it. And all we do is we, for instance, take a file, and here it comes up and it says, please start delay in minutes. You can delay it and say, I would like to delay it by 5 minutes or so. So I close all my other stuff and everything like that, and I'm sitting relaxed and I walk away, and 10, 15 minutes later, it will start to play. If I want to play it straight away, you'll see that at the bottom, it appears, you can move it around. It gives you a thumbprint of what is actually streaming. And again, which is simple, the person, that same link that you used before, you just use again, and now you're playing back the recording that you've done previously. And ladies and gentlemen, that is how simple it is to do these things. If I want to now close it, I just click on it and I stop it. We also included a facility where we're going to, if you look here, I move it into the middle. That is a playlist editor that we created. And what you do there, you can put in the files, how you want to play it, in the right sequence, and you can allocate time to it. I want to do a math lesson for grade 11 at 10 o'clock this morning. I then want to do an English lesson for grade 12 at 1 o'clock, and so forth. So you can work out, you plan your whole day, start it up, and forget about the system. And it will do one after the other at the correct time, and it will broadcast it in that manner. And you have what it just makes life a lot easier, that you don't have to sit next to the computer for the whole day watching it and making sure that, oh, when this one's finished, I must stop it quickly so that the next one can start at a particular time. And that we brought in when it was COVID, in the deep COVID time. In the beginning, we had to sit in front of these PCs and do it one after the other. And we brought this in as a playlist editor to make life a lot simpler, so that you can just do it, leave it, and go on. Right. And I think basically that is taking care of the whole RTMP service that is there. It is available 24/7. The servers are always up. We've got about a 99.9% uptime. Obviously, if there's any issues or something like that, you can contact us immediately, and we can look at it for you and diagnose the issues and everything like that. But what basically happens is that it streams from your machine on a single line into a server, a stream server that is sitting in Johannesburg at one of the bureaus. It's got huge bandwidth capabilities, and it is quite powerful, so it can handle a lot of connections simultaneously. And then from there on, the students or the people that is linking in to see this, they are getting it from that same server. So you're not overloading your own machine. Your whiteboard or your computer does not become the streaming server, because otherwise it'll kill you and it'll kill your bandwidth immediately. Here it goes in and everybody connects at one central server, and you do your broadcasting in that manner. So that makes it simple. If we want to close the whole thing completely, as I say, we exit it, and you'll see that the icon will disappear. And in order to now use it again, you will have to press or double click on that red icon that I'm showing you there. Right. Now, let's take a breather, and our next thing that we're now going to do is the touchboard whiteboard. Right. You've got this beautiful piece of equipment, and we've discussed it yesterday and how to use it and everything else. And first of all, as I said to you before, it is a normal Windows machine. Yes, it's big and it's beautiful that you can touch it and you can write with your finger or you can write with a pen. There's no special pen. That is something that I didn't mention yesterday, but you do not need a special pen. In a lot of the whiteboards, you will need a special pen. In this case, you don't need a special pen. You can use your ruler, you can use a USB stick, you can use your finger, you can use the board eraser if you so wish. Anything goes. It's not a problem. It does use gestures, so you can use your two fingers and enlarge it and make it smaller and rotate it and do all those sort of things. It's got gestures. And then also it's got multi-touch, so you can have multiple people writing simultaneously on the board. So if you've got 2 or 3 students that walk up to the board and they need to do a mathematical problem or something like that, they can all 3 do it simultaneously. You don't have to be one at a time. Right. So I unfortunately do not have a touchscreen laptop, so I use the mouse. Also, what you can use is this little Vodacom tablet. There's a lot of Chinese ripoffs too that works quite well, but this works very well as well. It's got a stylus and everything, and you can then write normally on it as what you would do on your touch screen. But on the big screen in the centers and the schools, it's so much easier. But yes, then we need a whiteboard. You know, when you look at teaching, the first thing that a teacher does, he uses chalk and a board. And that is very, very important. And you don't want to give them all this different stuff that is available and everything like that, unless they can actually use the whiteboard first in a normal way that a teacher uses a chalkboard in the classroom. And that's why we've included a touchboard. Yes, it's got some very nice capabilities and things like that, but we have to do that. I'm going to just step one back again and look at it from a perspective of, let's say, for instance, you want to do a presentation. We'll just do this quickly so that we can get it out of the way, and then when we talk about it, that we know that what we need to do is the right thing. We don't have to jump in and out of it. Let's say, for instance, we've got a presentation, normal PowerPoint presentation. There it is, and I now want to go and do this presentation like we basically did yesterday, and it's all fun and well and good. But I can do very little with it. I can really do very little with it. It's basically just a presentation. So remember this, what we're going to do in the board a little bit later, and you'll see what I mean about that. Right, let's take the whiteboard. Okay. There's our board. It's not white. But we can go and we can make it white. So if you go, you can make it white. You can really make it a whole lot of different colors. You can put lines on it. You can put blocks on it. For the little ones, you can even put nice little pictures on it. We can take it back. And if you really, really want to do, you can even have any color under the sun that you want to do. You can even mix your own colors. I want that color. Right. And you'll get your board like that. We can also add our own pictures in with it. So you can really customize the thing a heck of a lot to suit your needs. Yes, you'll say maybe sometimes it's a little bit overboard, but there's different things that people would like to do with this. Right. So there's our board. The very first thing that you can do with a board is you can write with it. So there's a pen. I can take a pen, and I've got many different pens that I can choose from. There's the first pen. Now I just put in some thickness. You can go very thick. You can go just normal. You can choose a color. Again, any color goes, but let's just take red for now, and we can do whatever we want to do on it, right? We can choose another color. Yellow is not a very good color to do now. Let's just take a blue, for instance, and do that. Right. So that's the first thing. I can write, I can draw, I can do anything with like I would normally do with chalk. And this is quite important that you've got that capability to do that. Okay. Now, if I take my eraser, and the fun part, ladies and gentlemen, that we do in school, especially in the lower down classes with that board, you take a normal, ordinary whiteboard or blackboard eraser, and you give it to the small children, and they go and wipe this board because they always want to do that. You choose it, you choose one of the sizes, and they rub with that thing over it, and they clean the board for the teacher. Simple, easy. You know, for seniors, for senior schools, we would just say, okay, now let's just clean it quickly. Forget about children rubbing it. But that's what you can do. Now, the next step is text. You want to type. So here you've got your font. You've got the size of the font. Let's make the font a little bit bigger, and we write in test. You click anywhere else, and it's there. Now you can move it around. You can do with it. And one of the things,
Test.
I don't know.
Test.
It is a little bit soft at the moment, but
Test.
it actually pronounces the word that you type in male and female voice, so we don't discriminate against anything. Right. So that is one way of doing it. The second way of doing it is handwriting. Now, guys, if you know me, my handwriting is not good at all. And at the moment, it's even worse now that I have to use a mouse because I forgot that I didn't have time to actually plug in the tablet. But let's say, for instance, I write. There's the test, the ugly test. There it is. It converts it to a proper type word. So if you are quite really, if your writing is not good, even doctors can use this. My daughter is a doctor, and even she can use it with the writing that they do on scripts that nobody else can understand. And then again, we can do the eraser part if we so wish to. If we want to have certain shapes, we can choose shapes like that. We can go back. Now I'm getting a little bit more in front of myself. You can use that. You can also fill them. I can fill one with yellow and have that. Also change the outline and the fill to the same. That is not a problem whatsoever. We can do all of that. And then if you made a mistake, we can just undo it as you go along. If you want to redo it, you can redo it. Now, the next step that we're going to look at is, if we look at the tools that's here at the bottom, let's just get rid of all of this, and we look at, here's some tools, right? That's the pen, that's the text, that's the eraser, that's the shapes, that's to select, to undo, to redo the previous page, next page, the wonder. And one of the things that is important with this whiteboard, it's infinite. It's not the size on the screen. You can write and move it to the side and move it to the side and move it up and move it down. It's one huge canvas that you can get along with. Now, sometimes you can get lost in it, obviously. So that's why we also do something else, and I'll show that to you just now. Let's first just look at our customization. We go and we say custom, and it gives us some icons here. And with this, we can now choose other things. And we can say, for instance, I want to bring in a visualizer. I want to bring in the recorder. I want to do a pull down screen, whatever you want to do. It's up to you. If we take a compass, and if you don't want it, you just click on it again and it takes it away again. Right. So that's the sort of a thing where you can customize your screen. And the beautiful thing about this too is that you can customize it as you work for a particular lesson. So you customize it, you use it for that lesson. This is the tools that I need. You save the lesson. And when you bring that lesson up later again, it brings the tools with. So that is also a very nice feature. But right, let's say we go back, and now we've got a few other options here. Right. And one of the big things, remember what we're trying to do. We're trying to do recordings, we're trying to stream, we're trying to make life a lot easier and everything else. Now, we present a lesson in the class. Lesson is done. And what do we do now? If a child didn't listen properly, how do you do the revision part? If you record the lesson, you can give them the lesson and they can go back and re-listen to it and use it again and again and again until they understand. So that is the big thing. And every teacher can do this themselves, and you put it all in a bank and everybody can use it quite nicely with an LMS system or just a normal email system or just on a repository on the server or on the board itself. You can create all of these things. And also for the teacher that needs to represent that lesson, it can be done. So those are the basic few things that we need to do now. Let's take a lesson. Let's take one of the example lessons. You remember I took that presentation previously, just as a PDF. I mean a PowerPoint presentation. Now we open it in the whiteboard. It's physically now inside the whiteboard. And if you look at the icons that's here on the side, there's icons here on the side now, and you'll see on your whiteboard, it's also, we've duplicated left and right, because some teachers are left-handed, some teachers are right-handed, some teachers are standing to the left of the board, others are standing to the right of the board. So it just makes it more easier for a teacher to do and not use the stupid hand to go and select things if they're anything like me. So if you want to go to the next slide, you can just press the button. You can also flick. You can take your finger and you can just flick, because at the moment you'll see that we actually, and especially the young kids of today, they're a generation of flickers. They flick between screens all the time. And one of the things about your lesson that you're doing, which is really very important, is that remember, if you don't make it a good lesson, they will flick you off within a few seconds and you've lost that whole lesson. So that is the reason why we've given you this capabilities of putting in all sorts of nice things in order to make the lesson more attractive. And remember, it's screen time now. Kids are going home, they watch movies, they watch TV, they watch their cell phones. It's the funniest thing when you walk or when you drive and you see there's a few people walking, young ones walking on the pavement, and they each on their cell phone. They don't talk to themselves anymore or between themselves anymore. I think they text each other, but walking side by side. But yeah, so here you can use this, and now you can also annotate on top of it, right? So you've got your options here, you've got your pen, and let's just say I want to do that, and I want to do that. And from Thai, it's not fresh water, but let's just do that. You can now have that. And if you want to go back to the whiteboard, there's a little back button there, and we can click on it. And here we're back at the whiteboard where we can now do other things. And if we want to go back to our presentation, we go back to our presentation. You go to the next screen, it's available. The annotation stays on the first screen. There it's back. You can also even put in sound clips and things like that. If you want them to listen to a particular clip in your lesson or something like that, you can even do that. Right. So now, let's say, for instance, we finish with this presentation and we exit the presentation. Are you sure you want to end? Yes. Do you want to keep the ink annotation? And this is a nice part, because if you now say, yes, keep it, and you open that presentation, that annotation is there. That annotation is there. So if you're doing it for two classes, or you've done your lesson and now you want to show them the notes afterwards, it keeps it for you. And then you can people can see what was done in the classroom and all the notes and all the annotations that went with it. So makes life a lot easier. I'm just discarding it. Now we look at it and we say, okay, we're still here. At the moment, we've just got our whiteboard open. And now the other function that we have here, if we look at the preview, we look at the preview and we see we've got one page. Now we've got 2 pages. And if I just go here and for instance, I want to type in here a 2, and I go back to preview and I do another one and I do 3. Right. Now I can go and jump between the pages. You see, if I go to my preview, I can look at the one that I want to, and if I click on that one, it will appear in the main screen. But you do not have to do that. If you want to go between 1, 1, 1, you can do it like that. Right. The other thing that you can also do is that you don't always have these buttons. You can put them there, but there's also an option here where you can say edit page. And here on the left-hand bottom side, it actually puts everything for you. And you can now go and say, I want to open a new page. Instead of going to preview and plus, you can just go here and you can open a new page and do something there. Right. You can now here jump between the pages. You can go between the first page and the last page. And if you look at your preview, you'll see that there's your pages now. And what is nice about this little feature in the bottom here, when you add another page, it's not always adding it at the end, because while you're busy with your lesson, you may want to add additional notes, and it doesn't always, you don't want to jump between pages. So you just go to that page where you are. Now you need some more space. You click, make a new page, and off you go. Or it is infinite, so you can go further and further and further. The other thing when we look at this is we can do notes. Very simple, very easy. We can give the children or the learners notes at the end of the lesson. You can connect a printer to the screen, or you can have a centralized printer in the school that is connected via network. And now all you need to do is you can go to File, you can go to Print, and there's the print. So here's the pages that you've got. There's the pages that you've got. But here you can say, I want to print all pages, or I only want to print certain pages. Right. The number of each, how many copies of each do you want to do? And then you can have headers inside there if you want to, and all sorts of things like that. So very simple way of creating notes and making notes for you, and then distributing that notes. And even if you don't give it to them straight away, you store this lesson. We can just go and say, save this lesson. And it says where it's going to be saved. And I'm just going to use that name and say save. And if we need to call it up again, we can call it up again. And that is what I'm going to do now, and just show you where we can now add other things in. Right. Where we can add in videos, where we can add in pictures, and where we can write in things, and that. Very simple, very easy. Let's start off with just where we say insert. And now we can say we want to insert a movie. The movie you can download from the internet. You can have your own movie. You can have a previously prepared one. All those sort of things you can do with no problem whatsoever, and put it in there and have it available. And then when I click on that, it will now play. Right. If you want to put pictures in, you can put pictures in. Let me just see if I do have any pics. Let's say, for instance, you want to do the eye in there. There's the eye. You can enlarge the eye, put it wherever you want to, and now you can write on top of it, or you can take out all the labels and let the kids come and put in the labels for a test and anything like that. So you can do all of this. Let's take one very quick example of a lesson, because I don't want to spend too much time on that particular one, but let's open a lesson and say, let's take photosynthesis, and you'll see that I do have two here. The one with no annotation and the one with annotation. Let me just quickly show you the one with no annotation. There is the lesson, right? And there's a video that we're going to watch just now. And here you've got the sun, the flower, the leaves, the roots. You can put some notes in. And then at the end, you've got a process of photosynthesis where you put all the words and symbols scrambled, and the kids can come and they can drag it up. And for instance, they can just take it like and put that sort of thing up and create the whole formula of photosynthesis. And then at the end, we can go and start with photosynthesis and say, okay, let's recap, let's do some mind maps and things like that, and use that. So let us just open the one with the annotations so that you can just see what you do. You can obviously open both of them simultaneously as well. Right, so here's our lesson. The first thing that we do is we play the video. I actually hope that when I shared this time that I did do the sound part. Right. Okay, so let us look at this. I'm just going to stop this, and we take the thing a step further, and we look at it and we say, okay, there's sunlight. What is the sun doing? All right, sunlight, it works into the flowers. There's chlorophyll in the leaves. It takes in CO2. It gives off oxygen and glucose, and there's water that comes in from the bottom that you can use. And then if you go, and this is how they will move this, carbon dioxide plus water, and then you work sunlight and chlorophyll in there, it gives you glucose and oxygen, that they can play the game. And then our recap is where you physically go and write in, right? What is the photosynthesis? It's a process by which plants make their own food. Plants need water, sunlight, and CO2. Either kids can write it in or the teacher can write it in with the help of the students replying to the questions that the teacher is asking. And that is a basic, quick lesson. But you know, the big thing, they're now not only hearing. And it is a fact that if you use more senses, you will actually understand better and you will remember better. So try and use as many senses as possible. We haven't created a smellinator yet where they can also smell, but all the rest of the senses can be used in this. So let us just recap on this. I'm going to go back because I want to show you something. And this is something that teachers are always battling with. You want to do a worksheet and you play a video on that, but now you want to ask certain questions about that video. And it's quite difficult to get the clips out. You need to have clips available. Now you go onto all sorts of programs and things and stop it and grab it and crop it and do funny things with the video in order to get those clips. Let's just play this video again. And I'm going to show you right now, I think let me just close this. Oh, what happened here now? Right, here is a little button that you can see here. Right, so if I play this and I say, okay, that guy, what did he see when he was looking through his magnifying glass? And that's the sort of question that you would like to get answered. By just clicking that button, you're actually taking perfect pictures from within the video. Right. And this you can now store. We can now store this. I'm just going to do it there. I must just remember where I put it. And it is so simple then to even do that. So again, now I can go out of this and we can just look at a few things here. And there's my two pictures. Normal, ordinary pictures. I can take that picture and I can bring it into Word. If I want to do my notes in Word, I can say insert. I can say picture. It's this device. There's my picture inside Word, and I can now resize it, do whatever I need to do with it, move it around, everything else that I want to do. And that's how simple it is to do your notes. So it is not just there for having the whiteboard. It's also there to assist you. You can also download the software onto your laptop at home and prepare your lessons for that. There is a licensing thing that goes with it, but it's got a free time limit thing where you can use it for a short period of time free of charge with all the functionality. So you don't have to buy or get a license for it. You can just use it like that. But that is how simple it is to do that. Right. Now, we just need to go and look at a few other things. Let's go and say, sorry. We can also do other things with it. I'm going to just jump because I'm also looking at the time. And time is running on us. But let us just look at it and say that we need to show them something about shapes and bases and lines and angles and things like that. We can now go and we can say, okay, let's do a presentation again where we would show them these things. Now, this is a basic presentation. I've just used the memo again. So, or this is without the memo. So the people will actually write here at the bottom, what is each one, what is each thing, where is the base, where is the side, where is the angle, all those sort of things. Very straightforward, right? Very straightforward. That is as out of a book. But it is quite difficult. It is quite difficult to understand these things and to see the hidden detail. Yes, there's hidden lines and it gives you an idea, but some people just don't see that. What is at the back? How does it work at the back? And here, what we can do is we can now go and say, let us do something with those shapes that is a little bit different. That is a little bit different. And what do? We go into the mathematical board. You'll see that there's other functionality here. Here you can do all sorts of functions. You can do offsets. You can hide. You can do your functions. All your different things. All mathematical. Everything in this board is for mathematics only. But you can incorporate it into other subjects too. But look at that, what we've seen in the previous lesson, where we've got those stationary objects and you can't actually see what is going in the background and things like that. So what we do is we highlight that and now we rotate it. Right. So we can rotate it like that. We can do multiples, we can do singles. And now we can stop it, we can move it around to show them all the different angles in color, in line, as you want to do. And now they can understand a little bit better to see that there's a solid object. We've changed the colors of the sides and now people can see, oh, B, A, C, D, that plane that's there. It's hidden at the back normally, but now we bring it to the front and say, okay, so this is a cube. We can do it with anything else. So this is the sort of a thing that you bring in where the real multimedia side comes in. You've got video, you've got graphics, you've got images, you've got everything in that you can use. And then the other thing that is also important, you can bring in various other things. You do not even have to leave your whiteboard, because you can do other things. You can bring your resources in. There, my local resources, I can go to my C drive, D drive, and I can call up the different things that I need to do. Right. So if I want to upload files into this, I can do so. I can even go as far as to say, if I go, I can set up things like Zoom, Teams, another program. You've got a simulator program that you would like to use. You can bring it in here into my resources. And when you click on it, it will then open the file in here. And now you can have a Zoom meeting from within your board. And remember, if you do it from within your board, you can capture it. You can do all sorts of things with it. You can add to it. You can do some annotations on it and everything else that goes with it. So very important. You can also call up any one of your favorite through the internet. And when we look at the internet, it is sometimes a very nice thing to have when you do things, right? So I want to explain something. So I can actually go and open the internet from there, right? I can open the internet from there, and I can bring up, and unfortunately, I think what I've got here now, right, sorry, it automatically jumped to the second screen where the internet is open for the live studio. So I don't think you saw it, but I think you'll be fine now. But here you can actually see the whole thing, and you can play the video for the learners.
Hey guys, so I'm finished.
Right, so that they can see how it is done. So this is not just for maths and for science and for that sort of thing. It's for everything, even for the electronic courses, the woodwork, the metalwork, the technical drawing stuff. Every single subject can benefit from this, and from the very small up to university level. It is no problem.
Up to an unregulated power supply.
Right. Let's just get rid of it now.
More than 1,000 watts, and I got a little amp meter there.
There we go. So I can now close this, and we're back into our whiteboard, carrying on as per normal. Right. And if you've got multiple pages open, you can jump between the pages, having this program run on this page, having another graphic running on another page, and everything else. So it is quite important that we have that, and that we know that it is possible to do this. Now, the one thing that we can also do, you can add things to your whiteboard. The first thing is, instead of adding anything, let's, for instance, just go to a new file. Right. We can now go and say we want to put in the recorder. Now, we have a recorder built in. This recorder is activated from within the whiteboard, but it is available throughout your whole system. Right. Now, we do have a recorder facility for our RTMP, and that is basically there to record your lesson and to get going. But here you can also do the same thing and replay it, send it away, and everything. Sometimes you do not have the RTMP available, and you can use the board and so forth. All we need to do is we just need to set it up, because I do not want to use the internal camera, otherwise it may throw us out. So we'll be using the external camera, and we'll use the external sound of that camera, and we say, fine, that's it. We now call up the photo. There's our photo in the corner, and we can now say, let's start recording. So whatever we do now, we will get that, in. And we can just for now take the same picture, carry on with that, and if you do want to write on here, you can do that. We can then exit. Yes, you want to end it. I don't want to keep the annotation, but now the thing also allows you to go outside of the whiteboard. I can click here on Control, and now it allows me to open up my screen. So if I now go and I say, right, I want to open Word. I want to start a new thing in Word. Let me just do that, right? And carry on with that. Show them what to do, how to operate Word, because this is the nice part too, is you can now physically, you don't have to tell them how Word works. You can physically show them how Word works. And then when I'm done with this, I can say, okay, stop. and it is saving it in record. We save it there, and I can close it outside, because even let me do this. Even if I go into the whiteboard again, now there's my whiteboard. I reopen the whiteboard and I exit it completely. No more whiteboard. But you'll see your recorder is still available. Your recorder is still available that you can use for whatever you want to. The moment you click on it to start, it minimizes it on the end. I am finished with that, so I can now close it. Right. So close it, end of story, done. If I go now to, sorry, I'm every now and again I'm losing the mouse to go to the second screen. That's why it's a bit of a battle. So whatever we do now, we will get that in, and we can just for now take the same picture, carry on with that, and if you do want to write on here, you can do that. We can then exit. I now go and I say, right, I want to open Word. I want to start a new thing in Word. Let me just do that, right? And carry on with that. Show them what to do, how to operate Word, because this is the nice part. I can remember very well. I can duplicate myself quite quickly. So that is how simple it is. Now you've got it. End of story. Done and dusted. You're done with it. You can also add other things. You can also add other things to your board. For instance, a visualizer. I'm going to attempt the visualizer because I just want to see in the settings. Right. And now here's your piece of paper that you've got, and you can now even write on it. You can show it to them. You can zoom in and out. I like that idea of lunch. I didn't have breakfast this morning. Right, so there's a visualizer that you can use. You can even use a normal webcam. You can even use the camera that's on the screen for that as well. It is quite simple. Any camera can work with that to create it as a visualizer, or you can purchase an official visualizer that you can use for that, or a document camera that some people are calling it. So that gives it you the functionality on the board straight away, everything. So you can see the versatility. You can see the versatility of this. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a heck of a lot more that I can tell you about this. And it's really, the sky is the limit. What you can imagine, this thing can do. It is really important that you take that whole board in its entirety and add to that in order to give or to produce a lesson that is really good for students. And if I can just show you one or two in the sense of some examples what teachers are doing. Right, so we've got the hospitality one, for instance. This is a teacher.
Good afternoon, boys and girls.
It's a bit soft at the moment.
Studies. My name is Mpume Zulu, and I will be taking you through into today's lesson. Please have a pen and paper so that you can write notes. In this chapter, we'll be focusing on 5 infectious diseases that all food workers should be aware of. Now you might...
Right, let's just jump a little bit.
As well as yellowish skin and eyes. As you can see on this food, you learned in grade 10.
And this is lessons that was produced during deep COVID. COVID started in March. There was a bit of a few days before the time that was available, before there was that initial lockdown. and the Department of Education in the Eastern Cape got a few teachers together, and we trained them up quickly how to use the equipment. They then went back and started doing their own thing with a little bit of help, telephonic help and that sort of thing, because nobody was allowed to go to the center or everywhere. These were produced on their home laptops and everything. And it was amazing to see what these teachers were doing all by themselves, quick, and managed to do this wonderful work that they did. If we take a thing like tourism, for instance.
Good day, great.
Now, how difficult is it to actually do things with tourism if you can't show them the different things? I'm just jumping between.
I expect that it was built around 2,530 Germany.
And this is done or was done by teachers that had absolutely the minimum training. The lady that did this didn't have any official training. She phoned me a couple of times, and I gave her a little bit of guidance over the telephone line, and that is what was produced.
Historical purposes.
So, and even with computer work.
Hello, grade 11s, and welcome to the Eastern Cape Virtual Classroom. My name is Hanneli Jordan, and today we're going to look at, you need to know that we measure was in this RAM chip be cleared out, okay, like when the computer is shut down, for example.
The first two lessons that I showed you was done on the whiteboard software. We gave the whiteboard software to these teachers at home, and they prepared it, and then these lessons were streamed to the students. And so far up to today, across the country, there's over 4 million people that has benefited from the lessons that was done in the beginning, and that is still continuing up to now. And then the last one that you've seen, that was done by Bandicam software that the lady had herself. The one thing about that, it keeps a watermark over it, and it cuts off every 20 minutes, and you have to join the files together. But that is basically what is happening there. And now I want to show you something a little bit different. We're going to step aside, because time is a bit of a thing. We're going to step aside a little bit and look at the compression ratios and things like that. We've been talking of how to do it and everything like that. And video files are normally quite big. But yeah, we can do it. And with the compression that we had on some of these things, if we look at a normal file, let's take that first one. Maybe what I must do is, let me go to details. Right. Let me go to details so that you can see a little bit better. If we, for instance, take the minister's meeting that she had, Minister Angie Macheka, that was at the teacher center. I think this one is in Atteridgeville, where we actually got where we did the recording and everything like that. And we got the recording from somebody that has already compressed it, and that was. I'm just going to do the first little bit.
Restricted the way ensure the format, and again that's accessible to
right.
And what's up?
Quality in this case not fantastic, but 352 megabytes. Now think about a child that needs to watch this over his cell phone. 352 megabytes gone. If he wants to watch it again, another 354 megabytes or 52 megabytes gone. If it goes through our system, quality, no different. Quality, no different. But it's only 50 megabytes. It's only 50 megabytes. And that makes a huge difference. We take this hospitality one, the original one was, if you take it originally like that, right? What we showed previously, it is 330 megabytes. 330 megabytes, again, big. And what do we do with it? If it goes through our system and you stream it, it's only 97 megabytes. Now, obviously, the compression side and everything works according to the entropy of the video. A lot more movement, it can't compress that much. Other things is, if we already get a thing that is compressed beforehand, then obviously the compression is a little bit lower than getting the raw file, because a lot of the videos in these lessons are from the internet, so they're already compressed, so we don't compress them much more than that. But it just gives you an idea. It just gives you an idea that by using the system, you are using a lot less. And this can actually work through a whole number of fields, not just in our lessons, but even for your own use in the school and everything like that. We take JPEGs. We take a JPEG. I took a JPEG. I was in Abu Dhabi. My son works there. And I took, at Ferrari World, I took a picture with my cell phone. And that is 2.7 megabytes. When you compress it, same thing. When you compress it with our system, it's only 124 kilobits. So now you put those pictures inside your documents. You make them small. It is a small document that you're using. It's a small picture that you're sending to a child. First of all, it doesn't use a lot of data. Secondly, it's quick. It's quick because it's so small. So transfer time is really, really quick. And that makes a huge difference. If we take another video, for instance, we've done a thing for a company, 131 megabytes. 131 megabytes. I'm just playing a little bit. Right. We have to use WeTransfer to transfer it. We have to put it on a FTP server or something in order to get it. If we stream it, it takes your daily allowance of data gone. If you do it through the compression system, same quality. You're not losing quality, and that is the important part of it. Right, 5.9 megs. You can email it. Very fast, very quick, very effective. And then the other thing that you use in school level quite a lot as well. And we've got a number of, especially technical schools, that is using all of this for their learner profiles, because they have to do this and they get all the notes and all the videos and everything like that. And being technical schools, they use a lot of this stuff and a lot of simulations and things like that. And their user profiles are just too big. So they use our equipment to reduce the size. Even outside stuff is being reduced, and so that your learner profiles are manageable. The children can get it, they can use it, they can put it on their laptops, they can put it on their tablets, on their phones, and it makes a lot easier to do that. PDFs and everything like that, I do not have time to show you all, but maybe just one thing is the audio clips. Audio clips, we use audio a lot. Don't show this to the children because they're going to bug you to do it for them as well. If you take a normal music clip and the original file is a WAV file, a WAV file, and that file is 38.799, 38.8 megs big. And you should be able to hear it in a while. Right. Now, just remember, some of the quality is reduced via the line, via the connection at the moment on the platform that we are. If we convert that to an MP3, everybody knows MP3. Everybody knows how to change a WAV file to an MP3 file, which is the industry standard at this stage, and that is 5.2 megabytes. So from 38 to 5.2 is impressive already. Now you go and you put it through our system, our compression system, and look at it, 729 kilobits. From 38.7 megabytes to 729 kilobits. It is there instantaneous if you send it across. And just remember, this is not just for music and things like that, but if you record yourself speaking and you do a lesson only with audio, you get to the same levels and you get to the same size. For instance, during the lockdown period, there's 18 radio stations, community radio stations in the Eastern Cape. And what we did with all the lessons that we did in video format and on the whiteboard, we've actually extracted that audio. We've extracted that audio with free software. You extract that audio out of the video, and you then give this to the radio stations, and they then broadcast it. They every evening from 6 until 10, they broadcasted the day's lessons in audio, so that when they do not have the facility for video and smartphones and that sort of a thing, they could still do it like that. It is really important that you look at the whole picture, you look at what is available, you see that you've actually got a phenomenal piece of equipment in the center. Some people will look at it and say, oh, it's just another whiteboard. It is not just another whiteboard. It gives you a complete solution to get to people that never gets the ability to get proper education. We did a POC with Vodacom here in the Eastern Cape, and we connected a whole lot of rural schools and everything like that. And on Morning Live, they had a video of it. And one of the things that really touched me the most was a grade 11 student from Matatiele that said, we haven't had a maths teacher for the last 3 years. Now, how can you expect that pupil to compete with normal matriculants that has got all these facilities and all this capability? And she said, now we're excited because now we can actually learn proper maths from a proper maths teacher. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot more. It is a continuous learning process, and the more you push the boundaries by knowing more things, by experiencing more things, by discovering new features in the system, the more you will be able to do. We are there to assist. We are there to help. We are not running away. And I think Johanna can say that we're not box droppers. We are there to hold your hands. And if there is anything special that you need, I think speak to the foundation about it. Talk to them and see how it's going to go. Vince is the project manager there too. Speak to him, and let's discuss the things and come for something for you. Again, if you need more information, if you need everything else, please, marius@spacemed.co.za, send me a mail and we'll look after you. The people that sent me a mail yesterday, I see that there was a few questions afterwards. I'll go and look through them and see, but all the others that has requested the material, I have already sent that to you, and I will do the rest today as well, if there's anything else. Thank you very, very much for giving me the opportunity to speak to you about this, and that we can really make this work together. Thanks a lot.
Fantastic. All righty. Thank you so much for that, Marius. It's always insightful. It's a very sad story you shared about, the school that didn't have a teacher for 3 years. I think it's part of the reason why technology is so powerful, because it's borderless, because we can actually reach the masses without having to physically be there. So fantastic stuff. Thank you so much for that, Marius. So I want to taste and see if people had been actually listening to what Marius was saying. Marius, before I do that, I don't know if you have your own Q&A, because we are ahead of schedule by quite a bit, which is not a bad thing, by the way. I think it's a great thing. But if you do have, I think you should. There we go. Jesus, there's quite a ton of them. So I think what I'll do is I'll hand over to Marius just to go through the questions, so you can give some answers. And then we'll hand over back to me to then proceed with the rest of the program. Okay.
First of all, I must apologize. I looked at day one's time. So I was pushing my luck, and I am extremely sorry about that. But yeah, it gives us a bit of more time. The first thing, mine is looking a little bit different to yesterday, but let me do this and see what comes of it. Right. Is this software only available on the touchscreen system, or can I download it? As I said earlier, it is available on the touchscreen, but you can also download it onto your normal PC. There, if you don't have a license, it will give you the opportunity to do it for a limited time. If the time expires, you can just reload it and carry on. That's not a problem. And it is actually on the whiteboard. There is a directory for software, and the download file is there. If you then decide that this is something that you would like to use, we can always talk, and you can register for it again. Right, the next one. Can you come up with a date where we meet again, face to face? Listen, that is definitely a possibility, and I see this is too much to grasp virtually. That's always the problem. It is a lot of information that comes through, and one of the things that I must say, that when you do any course and things like that, it is something that shows you what the software and what the equipment is capable of. It doesn't actually teach you anything. The teaching part and the making it your own comes with the practice. And it is very important that you do most probably go and practice as well, play with the board, fiddle with it. So far, we haven't had any breakages on the board with people, exploring. So I doubt that you'll be able to break it. And if you break it for a good reason, we'll fix it. But yeah, time. I don't think I'll be able to make that time. I think it can be arranged, obviously, between us and see, and especially on the face-to-face part, where it's going to be, how it's going to be. But yeah, please send requests, and we'll discuss it with Foundation, and we'll come up with something. We are more than happy to do so. We also have other people that can also assist with the training, and that normally does. We've got them all over the country at the moment with the ICASA project as well. So they threw me in the deep side that I had to do all the training for these 2 days. But yeah, anything is definitely possible. Right. Rich, I'm not sure if you are going to. I think you're recording this, and yes, Rich has just indicated that he is recording it, and I think it will then be sent on to all of us, and then I think. He says it will be later on the platform today, the recording already. So that is great news. So just have a look at that and see, and then you can download the recording. If you do need anything from yesterday, please drop me an email and I'll forward that to you as well. Right, which software is used by SpaceMed for annotating and cell phone connecting to the screen? Right, the connection or the software that we use is our own development. It is the whiteboard software that is there. We had it written for us by somebody, and then on the RTMP, that is an in-house product that we've got as well. And again, that is also on the screen in your center, where you can just download it to use. VLC is a normal public domain software, free of charge. You can either go and download it off the internet, or you can get it for your phone at Play Store or App Store for Android or Apple products. Right, the next one, it is unfortunate that we had to miss this training due to connectivity challenges, but it's good to know that Reach has recorded it and that it will be made available on the platform later today. So I think Reach has saved the day for us there. Right, as I said before, it looks like you kind of like this program, so it is available on the board. If you do not see it there, or you don't have access to that, drop me a mail, and we'll look after you in that sense too. What an excellent program for introducing to digital skills training for foundation phase teachers. Thank you very much, but I also think it is really a feather in the cap of Johanna and her team that actually did this and that asked us to do this sort of a thing. It is really, really important, and thank you very much for the kind words there. But it also shows you that we thinking that distance learning is only for higher standards, and it is not. It is not for higher standards. And just to give you some sort of an example, during COVID period as well, my wife has got comorbidities, so when the school opened again, she wasn't allowed to go to school when it was still on a higher level. And we put in one of the big screens in a classroom, and we at home we've made a little studio just with camera and a whiteboard and a few things. And she taught the kids for close to 4 months, and she's a grade 2 teacher. And she produced all these lessons and things like that. So it is across the board. It's across the board. As I said, we're also using in some universities. It is really, and boardrooms, private organizations are using our equipment and everything else. So it is really good to do that. Right, does it have collaboration capabilities? Yes, from within, you've got that capability. From without, you've got a messaging system where you can talk, and then on the other side, you also have a talkback where the students can speak to the teacher and work on that. I think what I'm going to do there, I'll give you also, I'm going to make available a presentation on that side of it. There just wasn't enough time to do it today. Okay, yes, I've made a little bit of a brouhaha with the time, but I think it'll be better to do that, because if I added this to this lesson, still it is going to, it's really going to be too much to grasp. But yes, there is that capabilities. Also on the board, there is a option of a multi-screen option where we do provide tablets and software that runs on those tablets that links the board and the screen together. A teacher has got his own tablet to control both the screen and the tablets for the children inside the classroom. But it's called a multi-screen solution. But that is an option that is not part of this solution currently. Right, as mentioned, you can do anything to write on the whiteboard. Is it erasable? Suppose learners use something stronger like a permanent marker or pour or spilled ink. Yeah, we didn't think about that. We didn't think about that in the sense of that you going to write on a permanent marker, but we have got 4mm tempered glass on top of the screen, and that is first of all very strong. Secondly, it's glass, so most of the ink will come off straight away. Otherwise, you can use a detergent to actually clean it if there is something stuck. But very strong, and you really won't have a problem. If somebody does that, that will be it. Right, let's take the next one. What icon was used to get the mathematical cubes and the maths lesson? That icon is within the settings where you can show that board. The manual for the whole board. There's a 56-page manual that is on the whiteboard that you can download. It's in a PDF format, which shows you with pictures and everything. It shows you how to do all of that step by step. You can see. But if you don't have access to that at the moment, please drop me a mail and I'll send it on to you. Right, I have heard you mention Visualizer. It is also among soft tools that you can select and add it as part of the whiteboard like it is with the recorder. Yes, the Visualizer is there. When you go to, when you customize your screen at the bottom, under settings, the Visualizer is there. If you click on it, it appears on your whiteboard screen. And then what you do is you allocate a connected camera to the Visualizer, whether it's the main camera, because you're not going to use the main camera for anything else at that stage because it's not a setup that we've done now, or if you connect your webcam as well to the whiteboard, that can act as a visualizer to actually photograph pages and things like that. Again, there visualizers are reasonably expensive, the real visualizer, but you can make your own. Really, you put a webcam on a stick and that becomes a visualizer as well. But the real things, you can now get a very, very nice visualizer, AVA version that does a whole lot of things for you for roughly about 2,000 Rand. It's portable. You can take it with you. You can plug it into your laptop. You can do it for other things as well. It is not just for the whiteboard. You can use it with all sorts of other things too. Okay, the next one. Very similar or same thing as the previous one. Right, how to put it on the compression system. First of all, everything is built into the system on the compression side that you can use it, and that when you stream and when you create and all that, it already compresses and everything like that. We are in the process now of making an app available. We have finished the Android version. We are just still busy with the Apple version, but we've got a deadline for the next 2 weeks because we've been busy with it for about 4 weeks already to make that available. And there will be different ones there. There will be a free version that will do a certain size file, and then there will be a paid version, very, very inexpensive. It will be that you can put on your own phone or on your laptop or things like that. And then files that are not compressed, you can run through the system in that manner. But we will be putting up on the whiteboard as soon as the app is available. We are going to put that app onto the whiteboard as part of the upgrade. But if you want to get it personally, please just keep an eye open. As I say, in the next 2 weeks or so, niflink.com. That is our new website, niflink.com, and it will be advertised there. It will also be in the media and everywhere else. With the rebranding, we're busy doing a whole lot of things from SpaceMed to that. Right. Yes, well done to the EC teachers for leading ITC integration. I think it is very important to actually just do something with them too, is that they have done an incredible amount of work throughout the COVID, and also now. If you remember yesterday when I spoke about the fact that they're now opening a distance learning school for especially grade 8 students that don't have space in mainstream schools, and those teachers are providing that training to those students at no additional remuneration or anything like that, but they do this because they know how important an education for children is. So yes, they do a tremendous amount of work, and there's lots and lots of things happening in the Eastern Cape, but there's lots and lots of things that are happening in other provinces as well. And I think if we look at it from a perspective of the time that Eastern Cape has been busy with some of it, and the time that other schools, other centers like the foundation centers and schools have been busy with it, there's so much good work that's coming from there. Yes, when we look at maintenance, it is very important that we do that, and we obviously after the warranty period and everything like that, we will discuss it with the foundation as well and see what we can come up with, an SLA facility and everything like that. Also from a school's perspective and a facilities perspective, the one thing is that we provide these things. We've developed them. We get them built outside the country because for some reasons having a factory here is still a bit of a problem, but we're really working towards that, to have a full factory that produces everything here in South Africa as well. But until such time, most of the equipment is ours that we've developed, and spares are available. We have had the first screens came into the schools in the Eastern Cape, and some of them in 2006, and very heavy, very robust screens, not nearly as sophisticated as today, and those are still operating, and we still keep spares even for those. So if there is a problem with the equipment, please contact us, because it's no use having them standing somewhere if it can be fixed, and in most cases for a relatively cheap price, because the computers and things inside are non-proprietary. So even the shop next to you can fix the computer in most cases, but we prefer to do it ourselves in the sense that we know the quality of the equipment and everything that goes with it. Right. I have been asked a question. Where do we find the customization tab for the whiteboard? If you look at the bottom of the whiteboard towards the left side at the bottom, you will find there's file, resources, tools, an ebook. If you click on the tools, then you've got at the bottom row, you've got settings. The settings, that is where you set the colors of the screen and everything else, the languages and things like that. And then the registration, you don't have to worry about that because all your screens are registered. But if you do purchase a license for home use, you will then go to register and register there. Then the next one is custom. And if you go into custom, it will then give you all the icons that is not available in the middle of your the bottom of the screen there. And if you click once on it, it puts it there, right? So if you, for instance, if there's no eraser and you click on the icon of the eraser, it will appear in the bottom bar. And if you don't want it there, you just click on it in the bottom bar and it puts it back in your repository where all those things are. So that is quite simple, quite easy to do. So it makes life a lot easier. One thing that I did not show you is ebooks. You can create your own ebooks. Maybe if we want to, and we've got a few seconds afterwards, I can just quickly, especially for the lower down, ebooks is just a function that is there. You create an ebook and you can add to it and everything like that. You can also load ebooks into the system and use them, fill them out and all that. So it's also a function that is very simple. Right, then the email address. First of all, Marius at, let me spell it, M-A-R-I-U-S, Marius at spacemed, med for medical, spacemed.co.za. And our new emails for NIFLink is also now available, Marius at niflink.com. Marius at niflink.com. Right, and then the very last question that I have here. Do you have modular videos that you can share with the centers for in-depth training? That is something we do have a couple already, and we're feverishly creating more of those. We did employ a company to assist us with that, to give us very, very professional ones. We do have our own ones that we can share in the meantime, but yeah, we do have these, and we are very seriously doing new ones and upgraded ones, and also with the new naming for NIFLink that goes with it. So very shortly I can make that available, and I think once it's available, I will speak to Johanna from Foundation and see what is going to be the best way of distributing it to all the centers and whoever else is in need of those. They will be free of charge, obviously, and it will give you the opportunity to also watch them and get more information as you go along. And I think from my side, that is now all the questions that I have on the board. Is there perhaps anything else that is needed? Otherwise, I am done.
Right. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much, Marius, for the questions and answers. I hope that everybody has got better understanding. Some really good questions were asked over there. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, brilliant. I think the team had asked some really great questions over there, and I can see that there's been a lot of engagement on their side and a demand for some of your technologies. So, guys, I think it wasn't the last time you were engaging with Marius. I think Marius is definitely available to assist and give more information. And I wish you all the best, Marius, in establishing the manufacturing plant in South Africa. I think it's going to help your business quite significantly, being able to manufacture it locally. Great stuff. Thank you so much, Marius.
Thank you very, very much for the opportunity. I really, really appreciate it a lot. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so we're going to proceed then. So like I did mention earlier on, after Marius's delivery, I do want to ask a spot question. And there were so many amazing questions I could potentially ask, but I think let me make it very easy. During Morris's presentation, he talked about a LMS. Okay, the question I have for you is, what is, or what does LMS stand for? Okay, that is a spot question. What does LMS stand for? Okay, Rich, what I'm going to do is I'm going to type it in our chat so that you have a view of what it is. And then see when we have the right answer. All right, so that's what LMS stands for. When we have the right answer, and it is also timed, guys, we always give 30 seconds to our quizzes and our games so that we don't wait indefinitely, right, for the typing in and the answers to come through. So we're just going to wait. And on Richard's cue, I'm going to take it that we will have closed the contribution. Okay, fantastic. Richard has just indicated we do have a winner. Fantastic. Therefore, you can stop your typing. It's okay. We have come to the end of the spot quiz. Fantastic. All right. So what we're going to do next now is that we're actually going to play a game. So I'd like for you to please be mindful of going to the bottom of your screen like I showed you at the beginning of the program. When you scroll down and you will see the little window that says play now. Let me explain what this game is about, right? So this game is really about you trying to find the hidden objects. What we're going to do now quickly is that we're going to basically do a bit of a demonstration. So you see, we're going to find one specific hidden object in the picture, just for demonstration purposes, and then the expectation is that you will find the rest. Okay, and there should be words at the bottom to help you identify what you should be looking for. So I'm going to wait for the screen to pop on my end so that we can do the demonstration. Fantastic. So there's a picture. We've all seen it. We've got them in the U magazines, you know, if you're still into reading the magazines. And as you see, there's quite a number of things to find. We're going to find specifically one item as an example. So you can see over there, we've got highlighted there, the terrarium. Okay, it's highlighted there. And there we have the circle in green. It's right back there, all red. There's a circle in red. So what you'll find is that as you find the different objects that you're pointing on, the words at the bottom will disappear. Okay, so the words at the bottom will disappear as you find it. So for example, if you find the magnifying glass and you actually hover over it on the picture, the word will disappear. If you find the spinning globe, okay, the words will disappear. All right, fantastic. Okay, over to you. So guys, don't forget, you actually have to click on the object. Okay, click on the object. Okay. Fantastic. All right. Is the timer started, Richard? Yeah. Okay. I see that Richard has said we've got 5 minutes to play this game. The time now specifically is 10:53 on my side. So we'll have just until before 11 o'clock for you to actually find these objects in the hidden picture. Okay. All right. Let's do that. We'll give you a few minutes. Let's give you 5 minutes. As you're looking, just as a heads up as well, we will go through some of the pictures that we've seen, but let's give you time to just focus on this. I think let's give them time to just finish the game. All right. Okay. And we have the pictures, demonstrate them. Okay, we've got the pictures that have been taken. So we can just peruse through some of the pictures. I like the red shirt, very Vodacom centric. It's a pity we don't have the names actually at the top so I can see who the contributors were. But you can see over there, we've got another picture coming through. Some really, really, really great pictures coming through, even with your masks. You're welcome to take off the mask, guys. Don't be afraid to take off the masks. Oh, I like this one. It actually looks like it's got like a filter in the background. Oh, this is beautiful. The African outfit. That's looking really, really stunning with the earrings. Very nice picture. Okay. Is this a picture? I think this is a picture that was uploaded. We're going to have a bias for uploaded pictures. We're going to prefer towards the ones that were actually taken physically, not the ones that were uploaded. It's a bit of an unfair advantage, but all right. That's the other one. Ah, very nice. Home picture. Okie dokie. What does it say? Tough enough to be a teacher, crazy enough to love it. I love this. Nice. Digital Vodafone. Be in it. Be in to win. Be in to win. Okay. I wonder what's in the box. Very nice smile. I wonder what is in the box. I'm curious about that. Was it a gift from Vodacom? I do wonder. I really do wonder. Okay. All right, let's keep those pictures coming, everyone. Please don't be afraid. When you're done, obviously, with the word game, all right, so that we don't necessarily split your attention too much. When you're done with the word game, please feel free to go back into the lobby and share with us your pictures. Okay. Okay. My assumption is that we are done. It is 10:57. I see we've only got 1 minute. So what we're going to do is that once you have completed your game, finding the hidden objects, and you have shared your picture with us, you're welcome to go to a break. We'll be going to a break, okay, stretching, having a sip of coffee and tea, and we will be back at 11:20 on the dot. The game will be available to play until 11 o'clock, or you may go to the break. It is entirely up to you, but it will still be there until 11 o'clock on the dot. All right, from our side, we'll go in a break and we'll see you back the same spot at 11:20.
My name is Mac Msiza, and I'm from Madira village, Akhuchimatsela Dikhale, and I'm doing grade 11. I'm doing physics and maths. In primary school, I struggled a lot with maths and physics, because we're not doing physics. So I found out about this school. I was searching about school resources. Then I found a school. I click on it, then it showed me how to access it. I found out that it starts from grade up to 12.
Yes, he was using his school for Vodacom, and then he won the award nationally. He came out #1 nationally. So he's the best learner in South Africa, in Mzansi. So we're grateful for him, to have him. And I think this interview is going to change the mindset of the people living in this community, because he didn't let his background to determine his destiny.
Vodacom Schooling is a very helpful platform. It is free of charge. You don't need to buy data. That's one of the advantages I love about it. Another advantage is that you can learn anywhere you want. And thanks to Vodacom for bringing this to school. If it wasn't for it, I only have got distinction. In June, I remember I got distinction in maths.
I wish him all the best. Or bophelo bja bo tsamaye gabotse o ska ba le ntwa go montšhatsile go fitlhela mafelelong mo e le gore modimo o mo kgethetse gore yena a be se a nyakang go ba sona.
Thanks to Vodacom. If it wasn't for Vodacom, I would have access to schooling, and I want to get those 7 distinctions. It's because of Vodacom, and with Vodacom schooling on my side, those distinctions are just a piece of cake. Thank you.
That was such a beautiful video. Vincent makes us proud, 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 proud. He's a true example and testament that if you put your mind to something, nothing is impossible. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Vodacom Education Ecosystem Workshop. We are reaching the end of our program very, very, very soon. Essentially what's left of today is that I'm going to be handing over to Vincent to do a Vodacom feedback for us, as Johanna is not able to join us for the last part of the show, and then we'll be doing another game, announcing the winners, wrapping up, and then closing. So without any further ado, I'm going to call onto the stage Mr. Vincent, please. There you are. How are you, Vincent?
Good morning. It's still morning, eh? Yes. Yeah. I'm okay. How are you?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Awesome. I'm well, and yourself, Vincent?
Great.
Good, good. All right. Well, I'm handing over to you to lead us into the closure of our program officially from your side.
Oh, okay. Great, great. Network is failing me, but I'll try. I hope colleagues can hear me very well from wherever they are. Thank you so much, colleagues, for honoring this program. This was just one of those programs that were very exciting, that were very good. Let me just first acknowledge your presence, your patience. You've been with us from 9 o'clock yesterday. You've been active, participating, engaging, being part of the games, and congratulations to all the winners. We can't all be winners, but the fact that you attended this training, you are indeed a winner. Colleagues I'm quite certain that they have learned a lot from our presenters. If I have to summarize what happened in day one, we had our program director running the program very well. Thank you so much. We then had Joanna giving us, the background around education ecosystem in as far as Vodacom is concerned, and we have Joanna touched on many things. She has alluded to the fact that we are starting to touch lives from an early child development centers, from creches. We have seen in the pictures of early child development centers that are looking very, very good. And there was another presentation that talks about how we give our learners access to e-content, and which is zero rated. So whenever you are having a Vodacom SIM card, so you are free to access our content. Is online. We've got multimedia that which can help our learners to prepare for examinations. So we are giving a lot, colleagues, in as far as e-content is concerned. We also touched on the issue of youth development, to say we create jobs as Vodacom. We're not only folding our arms to say we are providing resources to schools. We are also creating jobs. We have seen, touching videos that talks about someone who has been without a job and coming in as a Vodacom employee, working for the first time on for the first time in her life. And that is really a touching story. You could see that we are really making an impact in as far as the national development plan of this government is saying, because one of the pillars are that government has to create jobs through partnering with us. So we are indeed helping very much in terms of creating jobs for youth and the unfortunate people on the ground. So again, colleagues, the presentation also touched more on the issue of resources that we deploy in various schools. Joanna presented about 3,000 ICT schools that we have donated ICT resources. And yesterday, I also talked about what those ICTs can do if they are correctly integrated into the school curriculum. And colleagues have also contributed a lot in terms of the integration of these ICT resources. And I acknowledge the challenges that colleagues raised from this platform to say, of course, Vodacom, you are bringing ICT resources, but we also have got challenges of some of us running short of ICT skills, how to perfectly integrate and things like that. And I had promised yesterday that, we're not only going to offer just a once of training, but we'll make it a point that we offer constant trainings. I've seen your comments, especially when Mark was presenting, Marius, I mean to say, was presenting about, space med content, the interactive feature of the interactive board that he was presenting about, and you guys were complaining about face-to-face training. You want more, and things like that. We have acknowledged all those comments, colleagues, and contributions. Will definitely work out a plan on how to have a face-to-face training and also have constant follow-up trainings, because one training won't be enough. I promise you that we will make justice in as far as those programs are concerned. Colleagues, we also touched on the issue of us providing bursaries to students who have done well in matric. We also sponsor matric farewell function. I'm talking about the national events. So you can see we are really touching lives from the early childhood of infants to up until to the university level. So with that, colleagues, we had also Brenda talking about the gender, and she touched more on female farmers. And you can see how Vodacom has given female farmers opportunity to plow, to start businesses, to formulate their business plans, and do all sorts of things that will expand their businesses. And you've seen how Brenda has presented her presentation, so that colleagues understand that we are not only concerned about education only, but we are broad in our operation. We cover quite a number of things. And if I go back to schools again, we are also, the P12s that are around our schools, we are trying to do away with those, because that is not really a good environment that which we would want our children to learn from such environment. So we restore dignity in the education system by making sure that the environment in which our learners find themselves in is so conducive that even if they use our ICT resources, they don't feel bad about their environment. They are proud of their environment because they are not going to the pit lavatories, they go to the flushing toilets, the environment is clean, the computer centers are okay, and with that, I hope there is nothing much we can ask from Vodacom. We had Marius from SpaceMed covering a lot of hardware features and their functionality, and colleagues are for sure are happy with what was covered by Marius. There's been quite a number of features that were shown to them, how the hardware can be used and how to juggle between the nodes of the system, the presentation and everything. So surely colleagues are now ready to utilize whatever that is in their centers. We had Olivia from IoT, a colleague at Vodacom, talking about the impact of technology, and from there we've seen how there were quite a number of terms that he touched, and they were very interesting. He talked about the fourth industrial revolution. He went down to the first industrial revolution. He talked about how machinery came in for mass production, because initially, during the days of slaves, people were like taken in majority, especially from Africa, to do the handwork activities. So machinery came into the world, or into the working environment, and people embraced that, and that's how the first industrial revolution came. And as technology evolved, and we moved from first to second industrial revolution up until fourth. But I know there are countries that are already talking about the sixth industrial revolution, and they are talking about this artificial intelligence, how the robots are coming into our lives, and you have seen a lot in terms of, especially in the business world, where I can set an example of restaurants that are using the teller machines. You pay everything on the machine, you order on the machine and everything, and that's how technology is evolving, and such things will eventually come into our education space, colleagues. And I also acknowledge the saying that says, technology is not here to replace us, but is here to make us to be innovative teachers. So we shouldn't be worried about that technology is coming, our job won't be guaranteed and things like that. Our job will still be here. So we really have to, embrace that technology, because it will make our life very easy. But of course, if we don't have skills and correct knowledge on how to use it, it may still serve as a stumbling block. I think that was more of day one, colleagues. So I think I've done justice in terms of summarizing what happened in day one. Towards the end of day one, of course, we had, like I said, breakaway sessions. And when you guys came back, you really came with very, very interesting ideas, colleagues. Your ideas were wow. And I appreciated all the contribution, colleagues, because through you we can do more, and through you are, like I said, I normally use this word, you are the foot soldiers, you are the the people who are on the ground and who are hitting the ground running in terms of making sure that integration is taking place in the classroom, teachers are correctly trained, our ICT resources are available and are accessible to not only to teachers and to principals in various schools, but we open our youth centers to also to the public, because I mean, like I said, we touch life from early age up until to university level. So whenever we have got students who want to do assignments and all those things, each and every center manager must have a way of making sure that these centers are available to all our schools and all our communities around where they are staying. So and I'm confident that colleagues will definitely do so. Make sure that our resources that we deploy in schools are well functional, and you encourage participation in terms of formulating the community of practice, because without community of practice, colleagues, there is no way that we will expand our expertise and make sure that the knowledge that we have we share with other students and with other colleagues. So the minute you formulate groups so that you can in a way have constant trainings, constant development. And when we come in as Vodacom, we will definitely find you guys moving. So it will be, very easy for us to push you, because if you push a moving object, it's likely to move very fast. So, colleagues, when it comes to day 2, our MC welcomed us and gave us, all these motivating words. Thank you, colleagues, for attending our session yesterday, and we are really happy that you guys have rolled your sleeves and make sure that you honored this training and you are here with us, and you have listened attentively. We had Marius again, and thank you so much for Marius for unpacking the interactive board and the features of the board. And I liked the way he has presented the functionality of the interactive board, and that's one of my my interest, because I'm more of researching around what the interactive board can do to learners, especially if it's well integrated along mathematics content. That is my scope of focus, colleagues. So when I saw Marius presenting the features of the interactive board, and I said, wow, this is so great. Because you can agree with me, colleagues, that Marius have shown us how multimedia can be presented in that. And we all know with multimedia, you'll never go wrong. The fact that learners are able to see, they can touch, they can feel, they can hear. Marius talked about all the senses, that whenever they are brought into the learning space, learners will remember well. And remember the conceptualization that I was talking about, the remembering that I was talking about yesterday. Is so relevant here, because with multimedia, with audio, with video, with all this content that is there through many media, learners can remember very well, can conceptualize knowledge better, because that's how, or that's why we have these resources, colleagues, to better our way of teaching, to better the way in which learners must learn, because we want to produce learners who can reason better and can think and can conceptualize, not only to accept information from teachers and give it back, but can understand and synthesize information and analyze correctly. And they can only do that if they are having the right content and presented in many ways. So the fact that we are bringing multimedia that is zero rated, that can be presented on the interactive board, that is interactive, that brings that interaction between the teacher and the learner, that promotes that interaction between the learner and the fellow learner, that can also promote the interaction between the content and the learner. And that is so wonderful, colleagues, because it brings interaction between the three legs: the teacher, the learner, and the content. And that is so powerful, colleagues. I can't wait to go back to the classroom and start teaching with these resources. Marius also talked about how this interactive board can bring collaboration, and he talked about messaging. And I'm challenging you, colleagues, to utilize these resources, because we must expand the classroom halls, in a sense that even if learners are not in the classroom, we should be able to share content with them, and through collaborative features such as blogging, wikis, social media platforms, and other things, we can, in a way, communicate with them, share content, send, assess. You can also assess online, colleagues, if we are innovative enough. So let's explore further. This is not the end, and we'll definitely show that we offer more training, we capacitate you, especially in terms of content access, collaboration, interaction, ways in which we can better the way in which learners learn, the way in which we as educators teach in the classroom. So that if we do that, that we will be a plus on our side. And colleagues, in closing, I want to thank you, colleagues, for honoring this training, for engaging. Like I said, you guys proposed a lot of solutions towards your problems. We have captured most of your concerns. We have registered more of your worries. We will make it a point that we structure programs and trainings that will suit your needs, because the one blanket training wouldn't make justice to us, colleagues. So we'll make it a point that we engage you colleagues on the ground, and customized training that will suit each and every individual. But again, colleagues, we are pleading with you to expand your wings. Yesterday, I said, try to shine in your own corner, try to embrace whatever that you are given, try to protect. Let's try to help our schools to formulate ICT policies. I've talked about community of practices. I've talked about policies. I've talked about management of resources, because that is one key element that I must mention, colleagues. We are losing most of our ICT resources due to theft, burglary, and other things. Let's safeguard whatever that was given or that is given to us, because this is a donation. If you don't safeguard, you will find yourself not having any resource in future, and you'll regret, because you'll be at a disadvantage. Other people will be moving. And let's make it a point that, colleagues, we develop systems that will make sure that the resources that we are having are correctly utilized, are accessible, are well managed, are free, and are not being monopolized by individuals. And please, colleagues, engage us. We are here for you. We are forever here. Talk to us if you need any assistance. I've got a very wonderful team. I've got Palsa, who is forever interacting with colleagues on the ground, who's very active in the WhatsApp group. She's forever giving clarity, giving directions, and giving all this information that is needed for you guys. So I'm also having a supporting senior by the name of Joanna. She's forever, supportive, and we are a group that is very formidable, ready to hit the ground running at all times. So, colleagues, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. We'll arrange more trainings, more workshops, so that you will be capacitated, so that you don't feel alone. Like I said, we are always here with you, colleagues. You are never alone. Vodacom is here with you. We will forever touch lives through technology and change lives for better. And we are trying to make sure that even this environment that we live in, whenever we live it in a better condition. With those words, colleagues, I want to thank everyone who participated in this program, our program director, our colleagues from SpaceMed, our colleagues from IT, how's Brenda, how's Johanna, who am I leaving? Rich and Nolwazi and the team, and everyone, colleagues, especially our colleagues, our principals, our educators, our center managers, everyone who became part of this program, colleagues. Thank you so much. We really appreciate your support. We really appreciate your presence, and we will keep you guys updated in terms of other programs. And we are glad that we have joined this session. Thank you so much. Program Director, over to you.
Thank you so very much, Vincent. I think you did such a lovely job encapsulating what the past 2 days have been about. I personally want to acknowledge and give thanks to the Vodacom Foundation, actually, because I think as you were talking, Vincent, I was making note just of the breadth of things that this foundation has actually covered, in terms of just the technologies, the business opportunities, early childhood development, contributions, e-content, laptops, and speaking in my personal capacity as Nomo and having worked in different corporations, I have not seen an organization that has really imbued itself so meaningfully in communities and being so concerted about touching lives and making a difference. I can really see it, and I've been working with you guys for some time, and it just warms my heart. Genuinely, this is a genuine acknowledgement to say you're making a huge difference. We see it in the videos. We see it even in the quality of the questions, that have been populated, have been asked, and the contributions, that came forward from the members. So really, thank you so much to everyone from the Vodacom Foundation. I think you guys are doing an incredible job. May you continue to do what you do, and may you just grow from strength to strength. Thank you so much for your work. Thanks, Vincent. Okay, all right. So that brings us to the end of the the speaker part of the programs. We haven't necessarily concluded the program. We do still want to play one more game before we call it a day. And we're still going to obviously be making the announcement of some of the winners that we have from today's games. And then finally, we will then be showing who the winner of the photo booth competition was. Okay, so without any further ado, we'll play the last game for today. And the last game for today is basically a quiz. And I absolutely love quizzes because I think quizzes are a nice way to gauge one's general knowledge, but also just to challenge yourself, right? And see how much you know about what's happening in your own country. And that's what we're going to be playing right now. So pretty much the same modus operandi. You're going to scroll down. Okay, going to go scroll down to your page. And then once you scroll down to the page, there should be a play now. Okay, and when you play now, that's when obviously you've entered the game. Okay, I do want us to do maybe a little bit of a demonstration just to make sure that everybody is following us and we're on the same page so we can all participate. So if you look to the right, my right, your left, this is essentially what you'll see. So what animal is, oopsie, it's just loading again. What animal is Boulders Beach famous for having? And obviously you'll make a selection. Okay, yeah, okay. And once you've made a selection, it'll tell you if it's right or if it's wrong. And you'll see how many state capitals are in South Africa. And you can make a selection, right? We're not going to answer here because everybody's got the same question, so we can't show you all the answers. But basically, that's how this is going to work out. And you answer all the questions until you get through to the end. Okay, the person with the most correct in the shortest space of time will be the winner. All right, so I'm going to hand over to you guys to begin the game. Yeah. Okay, those are the 5 questions that we have, yeah? Okay, so in 3, 2, 1, you guys may begin. And while you're playing that game, we're going to wait for you. We're going to wait for you guys to actually go through those questions. I hope you found the questions interesting and relevant. I know we wanted to choose an alternative game where we could actually see you guys as well, but this is what we had with us, and we made based with what we had. Yeah, they're really nice questions, I think, and I think we're going to have quite a good turnout. They weren't too difficult, but they were interesting enough, I believe, to keep us engaged and keep us interested. Okay. We've got a few seconds left, I do believe. And there's a little bit of a countdown, which we will have. So what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen, is that once the winners have been tallied and approved, their names will be populated onto the screen over here, much like yesterday. I will announce those winners, and then they will be in touch with the organization team to receive their respective prizes. I'm personally excited about the photo booth competition. it was really great seeing all those different pictures uploaded and taken. You guys did a great job in participating. I think pictures are just always such a nice winning thing. Yeah, we all love pictures. We all love taking selfies, some to a greater degree than others. But I think we all just really enjoy that. Okay, how much time do we have left for the quiz game? I think we should have been done by now. Richard, are we almost there? I think we only had a few. All right, fantastic. So this brings me to the penultimate part of our program. This is where we do the announcing of the winners for the games we played today. So just to do a quick recap, remember that we had a spot question that I asked that was after Morris's delivery. Okay. So the question in particular was, what does LMS stand for? And LMS stands for specifically a learning management system. If you will just do the honors of sharing with me, Richard, who the winner was for that first one. Oh, we need a second question first, a second spot question. All right. All right. Second spot question from Vincent. And I think Vincent really shared a lot. The one interesting thing that Vincent shared that I think you might have all also just caught on and found interesting, he was talking about Oliver's delivery. And he said Oliver shared about the different industrial revolutions. And he talked about specifically the 6th industrial revolution. What did he say that 6th industrial revolution was about? If you're listening attentively, you would have gotten that. Yeah, I personally found it interesting because I mean, I think people are very aware of the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, but the 5th and 6th, not so much, but very interesting. So, what is the 6th industrial revolution about? That is a spot question coming from Vincent's delivery. All right, please populate your answers. If you finished your quiz, populate your answers onto the chat box and let us know, what is the 6th industrial revolution about? All right. So it means that when we do the final walkthrough, we're going to basically be giving an announcement of the winners for the first spot question, the second one, as well as for the games we played, the hidden objects game, as well as the quiz game. Yeah. All right, fantastic. I think while we wait to get through to who the final winners are, would it be possible to go through the pictures? I think it's always a great way to see what are we working with? What do we have so far? I think let's peruse through those pictures. Let's see who's taken pictures of themselves, uploaded amazing pictures. And let me tell you guys, what I've loved about the pictures is that some people have been really creative about where they've taken their pictures and how they've taken their pictures. And we have taken that into cognizance in terms of selecting which pictures we're going to be choosing. So I think, Richard, if we could just do a review of all the pictures that we've received so far, how they're looking like. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, that is fantastic. They look like they're by the desert somewhere. Okay, I like that. That's a very happy picture. I like it. And that's a picture of the team using one of the space aid equipment, it looks like it, which is also quite nice, right? Because it demonstrates how we're putting some of the stuff that we talked about today into action. So that's quite cool to look at. Okay, let's look at the next picture. All right, a good old selfie from your laptop over there. Okay, let's look at the next one. Oh, filtered. Nice, with a flower. Vodacom. I like. All right, and I think we've seen this picture before and we've seen these ones. Okay, so it looks like we haven't had too many more from the ones we had actually seen earlier, because I see that we've actually seen some of these pictures. I think people just added a few more. Okay, my assumption is that we will have at this point in time been able to conclude the winners and are in a position to project them for the colleagues so they can see who the respective winners are. Yeah? All right, we're just going to give that a few minutes. But you guys have so much. You must be so proud of yourselves. It really is incredible to witness. It really is incredible to see. And I'm personally touched that I was able to be part of this program, even if it's just to MC, but just to witness and to see the work that's been done is really incredible. It's really amazing, especially the collaboration between Vodacom and the Department of Education, or the Education Fraternity, rather. Let me say it like that. It's incredible. Thank you so very much for your patience as well. Okay, I think we're in a position to do a review. Oh, more pictures. Oh, that is so cute. That's so cute. Okay. Oh, who's that? Nice. Vodacom Foundation. Very, very nice. I think these are from yesterday. Yeah, these are from yesterday's bunch. Okay. Okay. So today is obviously the last part of our day. In terms of just recapping what we're going to be doing, we're going to be just, or what we're currently doing essentially is just doing a consolidation of all the winners from today's prizes. Yeah, for today's prizes, we need to make sure that the winners that we get are vetted. You know, when things are done digitally, it's important to make sure we've got the right people at the right time so we can fairly do the award. And then we compile that in a presentation and we can actually share that with you. All right, so that's what's busy happening. I'm definitely sure that everyone has completed doing the quiz. I think the quiz is ready or is complete at this point in time. Once we've gotten that done, then we will be able to announce who the winners are. All right, we're probably there. Okay, fantastic. All right. And that's what it is. We're doing pretty good for time. We're doing exceptionally well. I think we were targeting being done by 1:15, but it's 10 minutes past 12, which is great. So it gives us a nice early finish where we can. Okay. All right. I'm ready to do the announcement for the winners. So we said we're going to announce the spot prize winners first, right? That's going to be the sequential order. So for the... All right, it looks like what we have instead. All right, let's start with this. We've got the hidden objects. So for the hidden objects, which was the game we played, the second game we played, the winners are Pule Matela. We've got Crescentia Muache, and we've got Bongega Mpepa. I think Bongega is the second time you're winning. Congratulations to the winners. Well done for you guys for finding those objects timelessly. So those are our winners for the hidden objects game. All right, then our next winners for the next game that we played. This is for the timed quiz that we just played right now. The winners are Juliet Tembe, we've got Hossein Kaldin, and we've got Siabonga Dwabayo. Congratulations to you guys for being the timed quiz winners. You'll be receiving your presents after the program. Okay, this then means that we have 2 more winners to announce, and that's for the spot prizes, yeah, or the spot questions to get the spot prize. Okay. Okay. And the winner for the photo booth is Zanele Kumalo. Zanele, very well done on that picture. So I think why we also love that picture, Zanele, is it was quite innovative. You know, this is like you taking a picture of yourself and you're part of the program with the agenda items. It was just looking really beautiful, really innovative, great smile, capturing the moment. this is why it was fitting to award you the winner of the day for the photo booth competition. Very well done, and congratulations to you, Zanele Kumalo, for that magnificent and wonderful picture. And actually, everybody is a winner, guys. All those pictures were beautiful. Pictures tell us a story. Pictures tell us a bit about yourself. Pictures are also a way to engage with us. So we really appreciate that. And we thank everybody for participating. They all were magnificent, but obviously we only had to choose one to take the cup. And this was it. All right, I'm waiting for feedback from the team in terms of the spot prize winners. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing that still. We are waiting for those. I'm sure we have for the first. Okay, there we go. All right, so for the first spot prize, we have Mr. B. Fantonda, and I think you are winning again, Mr. B. Fantonda, because you won yesterday, I remember you. And we also have Rowan Herring. Those are respective winners for the 2 spot questions we asked, P. Fantonda as well as Rowan Herring. Congratulations to you, gentlemen, excuse me, for winning. And thank you so much for participating, being part of the program. We've had so much fun. We've reflected. We've seen the growth, and we can only wish you the very best going forward and look forward to seeing you again next year. And that's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. See you all next time. Thank you very much.